a station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 4.
Here's a look at today's top stories on this Wednesday.
Growing concern what people in the district are saying after several dogs were killed in Monday's storm while they were at a dog daycare, and what officials are saying they are doing to make sure nothing like this happens again.
And after a very active couple of days in the DMV, the weather has finally calmed down. How long does this last? Now we'll have an update for you coming up in just a bit.
All right, Damon. Plus, stretching near $1 as parents and students rush to stores for back-to-school shopping. How you can save the most before you stock up.
And thanks for joining us on this Wednesday for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Annalisa Gale. We'll get to those top stories in just a few minutes, but we want to take a look outside. There's Roslyn with a little sun above.
And of course, we're heading over now to meteorologist Damon Madsen with a first look at our forecast. And Damon, are we going to stay dry for the rest of the week?
That is our goal, Mark and Annalisa, as we have really had a very active couple of days with just those numerous showers, storms, and of course that heavy rainfall that led to the flooding issues we experienced. But today, the total opposite. The only thing we really have to worry about are some warm temperatures. We've climbed into the middle and upper 80s in D.C. all the way down toward Waldorf and Fredericksburg. Slightly cooler for locations to the north and west, not bad at all. 78 in Cumberland, 81 from Winchester north along I-81 into Hagerstown. But those warmer temperatures, well, they have come along with some lower humidity. Dew points were all the way in the upper 70s in parts of the DMV yesterday, but now sitting in the upper 50s to lower 60s. It definitely feels comfortable, not exactly crisp, but much more comfortable than what we have experienced, because now that cold front that brought all of that active weather the last couple of days, it's sitting east of us, and it will continue to stay east of us through the rest of your Wednesday evening here. Just a mix of cloud cover and clear sky with temperatures falling out of the 80s down into the 70s across the board as we enter into your Wednesday night. So not bad at all, and there is that cold front continuing to sit just to our east, but as it lingers nearby and yet another storm system approaches the area tomorrow, it looks like a few showers could pop up here and there. Nothing significant, but who is most likely to run into a little bit of rainfall on Thursday? We'll have a full check of your forecast in just a bit.
All right, Daniel, thank you. We'll check in, Damon, with you in a few minutes. Our top story. Today, city leaders face several questions about Monday's storm that overwhelmed Rhode Island Avenue, leading to the deaths of several dogs.
If you look at the events, the weather events, severe, that we have seen this summer, over 100-degree days for multiple days in a row. The July 29th storm in Ward 3. And of course, what we saw the other day, we are experiencing the impacts of climate change.
Now, Director Christopher Rodriguez says the city is now looking at the impacts of climate change since the flooding on Rhode Island Avenue. Meanwhile, Mayor Muriel Bowser was asked about the city's response time and the concerns over the drains in that area.
You can expect us to be able to say more. We're in the early stages of evaluating and analysis and support for the business. So this won't be a full explanation of what needs to happen. What I want to reiterate is that Fire and EMS was on the scene almost immediately because they were in the area.
And the mayor says the city is now considering engineering fixes that may be long-term solutions around Rhode Island Avenue intersection that was hit hard. And right now, our Daniel Hamburg joins us live with more from DC Water on Monday's flooding on Rhode Island Avenue.
Now, Daniel, what are they saying about the concerns expressed by residents who are worried about those drains?
Annalisa and Mark, the issue goes beyond just the storm drains that you see right here. A DC Water spokesperson actually tells me since the water receded so quickly on Monday night, the drains themselves were actually working, but this area under the Metro overpass acts as a giant bowl where sewage flows in from multiple directions. So what happened is there was a sewage backup in the pipes, and we had 2 inches of water fall in just 45 minutes, creating a pool here several feet deep. There's been a lot of talk about the Northeast Boundary Tunnel that's being built right under Rhode Island Avenue. DC Water says the project has been underway for 5 or 6 years, and it's actually 2 years ahead of schedule, expected to open by the end of September. DC Water thought it might be able to open it in March, but we're told labor and supply chain issues pushed it back. It will add 90 million gallons of storage designed for a 15-year storm, but spokesperson John Lyle says what we saw Monday was far beyond that.
The sewer system could still back up. The tunnel, once it's in operation, could still fill to capacity. And if that happens, you're still going to get some flooding. What we hope is that the flooding will not be as severe.
Now, we're told that DC Water and the district government, those are 2 separate entities, are working together to see if there are any solutions, though the DC Water spokesperson tells me he doesn't see really any short-term solutions before this tunnel is built, or is finished rather. However, dog owners here at District Dogs who lost some of their animals, they say something should have been done sooner. We'll hear from one dog owner coming up at 5 o'clock. We're live in Northeast. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
And Daniel, thank you. And happening tomorrow, the Eckington Dog Park has organized a candlelight vigil at a park at 8 p.m. in honor of the dogs who died during Monday's flooding.
New tonight, D.C. police have arrested a 30-year-old man in connection with 2 sexual abuse offenses and 1 count of assault with the intent to commit sexual abuse. Police say that Christopher Sharp made unwanted sexual contact with 2 victims and then assaulted a 3rd victim. The 3 incidents happened within 15 minutes time period, starting at 9:40 yesterday morning in the Foggy Bottom area of Northwest.
Well, data centers, the giant warehouses popping up around the region, they are one of the most controversial topics in our Northern Virginia communities right now. And as more of those data centers come to the area, residents are pushing back and asking lawmakers why they're so eager to welcome them. Haley Milon covers Northern Virginia for us. She's looking into those numbers. Now, Haley, what are you finding?
Well, Annalisa, through a Freedom of Information Act request, I've obtained 6 years of data center revenue in both Fairfax and Loudoun counties. And they're actually moneymakers in a number of different ways, but there's definitely uncertainty there. Just look at Loudoun County.
Loudoun County made roughly $663 million from data centers in 2022, accounting for about 16% of the total budget. That revenue's grown quickly but steadily since 2016. There's 3 sources of revenue here: the real estate tax, which all property owners pay, personal property taxes for things like fixtures and furniture, and then the taxes on computer equipment. So the county's making money off of what's inside the buildings, which can be hard to forecast year to year.
A miss in that forecast has significant impacts on the operations.
We've had 2 times where the data center revenue did not come in as expected.
And that's a big deal. 2/3 of the revenue in 2022 came from taxes on computer equipment. In Fairfax County, data center revenue is just a fraction of Loudoun's, 2022 bringing in just about $20 million. But that year, the revenue dropped by 1/3. Unpredictable revenue and power grid constraints aren't the only concerns.
No one's listening to us when we explain that how it will negatively impact us.
Cynthia Shang, Chantilly neighborhood on Route 50 borders a proposed data center site. She says the community is gravely concerned over the noisiness and environmental impact. Even the airport authority is sounding the alarm, sending a letter to supervisors warning that the proposal encroaches on Dulles Airport airspace. Folks in Loudoun expressed similar concerns, but there's no signs of taming the growth.
In fact, over the next 8 years, there are 24 million square feet of additional data center space on the books that are planned. That is over 400 football fields. Now, coming up in our next hour of news, how you can take a look at some of this data and see where these projects are happening near you. In the newsroom, I'm Haley Milon, DC News Now.
Ellie, thank you. Developing now, Maryland's highest-ranking black deputy fire marshal is suing the state police department for allegations of racial discrimination.
That's right. Deputy Chief Derek Chapman filed a nearly $5 million lawsuit, adding that when he spoke up, he was stripped of his powers and essentially demoted.
Our political and government reporter Leonard N. Fleming has an exclusive interview with Chapman earlier today to discuss his claims.
Now, Leonard, Chapman says this really took a toll on him.
Mark and Annalisa, he definitely does say that it took a toll. Deputy Chief Chapman tells me he has been racially taunted going back to when he first started nearly 25 years ago. And he says that led to him being second-guessed, bullied, and harassed, all the while dealing with kidney cancer and recently major back surgery. Chapman filed his lawsuit in federal court back in February, and the judge decided earlier this month to proceed with his allegations of bullying, harassment, and adverse retaliatory actions. In 2018, Chapman became the state's highest-ranking black man in the Maryland State Police Department, which oversees the fire marshal's office. He still holds the title, but with no responsibilities or staff he once had investigating primarily arson cases. But Chapman in the lawsuit claim he was quickly blamed for a backlog in cases, something he says was due to a lack of resources and staff, and eventually demoted and suspended. And he also endured racial slights, he says. Becoming a fire marshal was all Chapman wanted in life, he tells me.
I have to speak up for myself. Man's only good as his name, so I'm going to represent myself since the department let me down. Didn't take it seriously. It's a race issue when it comes into anytime someone speaks of a color.
No comment yet from the Maryland State Police on the lawsuit, but attorneys for the state tried to get Chapman's case tossed. That motion was denied earlier this month. Reporting in the studio, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now. Back to you.
All right, Leonard, what is Chapman's current status with the department now that the lawsuit is moving forward?
Well, he's on medical leave from major back surgery and is expected to return next month. His modus operandi is to keep working hard, Chapman tells me, and is using this lawsuit to get his good name back. And now with a black governor, attorney general, and state police superintendent, he says he hopes that will also make a difference. Guys?